Hi, hello. Once again, I welcome you all for BK Chemistry. In this part 2 video, we are going to deal with the reaction influence factors in SN reaction. In our first video, we are already dealt with reaction mechanism, stereochemistry, and kinetics. In this second part, we are going to deal with incoming nucleophilic effect and leaving group effect as well as carbon skeleton effect. So the first we are going to deal with carbon skeleton, that is substrate effect. So simple tertiary halide will favorable for SN1 mechanism and primary alkyl halide will be favorable for SN2 mechanism. So as we know that SN1 mechanism proceeds in two steps. The first step is formation of carbocation and the second step is attacking of nucleophile. So whichever substrate forms more stable carbocation, that will be favorable for SN1 mechanism. So in simple alkyl halide, the tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary carbocation, and then secondary carbocation is more favorable than primary carbocation. That is why that tertiary alkyl halide is proceeding for SN1 mechanism. Once it remove that leaving group, it will form more stable tertiary carbocation. So in primary alkyl halide, it will produce primary carbocation which is less stable, so which will not be favorable for SN1 mechanism. So for SN2 mechanism, the reactant substrate will be sterically free because that incoming nucleophile attacks backside of our substrate. So backside there must be sufficient space to incoming nucleophile to attack the electrophilic carbon. So in primary alkyl halide, it will occupied by two hydrogen atom which is very small in size, so the incoming nucleophile will be freely come and attack that electrophilic carbon. So in secondary alkyl halide there will be two alkyl or aryl substitution, with one hydrogen atom, so which will have significantly sterically crowded. So in tertiary alkyl halide, all three position will be occupied with either alkyl or aryl groups, so it will completely close that spaces which will not available for incoming nucleophile. So for steric free substrate, that is primary alkyl halide will be favorable for SN2 mechanism and tertiary alkyl halide will not be favorable for SN2 mechanism. So in otherwise formation of carbocation, tertiary alkyl halide will be very favorable and primary alkyl halide is not favorable. That is why in simple alkyl halide, tertiary alkyl halide will proceed through SN1 mechanism and primary alkyl halide will proceed through SN2 mechanism. So in this simple alkyl halide, it is just okay. If we consider benzyl and allyl group, even though they are primary carbocation, but it forms a more stable carbocation due to resonance effect. If you consider this allylic group, this primary carbocation will be stabilized by adjacent double bond. This is allylic group. So for this electron deficient carbocation, this pi bond will donate its pi electrons to this carbon, and this carbon becomes positively charged. So after forming positive charge for this carbon, so this pi electron is donated to this electron deficient carbon, and then again this carbon becomes positive charges. So this kind of delocalization occurs in allylic system. That is why even though it is a primary carbocation, it is a more stable due to this delocalized conjugation effect. The same way, if we consider this benzylic position, though it is a primary carbocation, this primary carbocation is stabilized by this aromatic pi electrons. If you consider this resonance effect, this pi electron will be donated to this electron deficient carbon, then this carbon becomes positively charged. So for this positively charged carbon, this pi electron donates here, this carbon becomes positively charged. So for this positively charged carbon, this pi bond donates here, this carbon becomes positively charged. So this kind of resonance stabilizes this benzylic position of primary carbocation. So this allylic and primary benzylic group, though they are primary carbocation, it forms more stable carbocation. Therefore, these are also this kind of molecule also favorable for SN1 mechanism. So this simple tertiary carbocation and primary carbocation is explained by this no bond resonance effect or hyperconjugation effect. If we consider this tertiary alkyl tertiary carbocation, so there will be 9 CH bond around this electron deficient carbon. So each filled CH orbital will be donating its electron density towards this electron deficient carbon. So in tertiary carbocation there are 9 CH bonds which will give considerable amount of electron density towards this electropositive carbon. So in secondary carbocation only 6 CH bonds will be available, that will not give effectively that much electron density towards these electron deficient carbons. In primary carbocation, only 3 CH bond will be available, so that will not satisfy the electron deficiency in electron deficient carbon. That is why tertiary carbocation will be stabilized by 9 CH filled orbital, and secondary carbon will be stabilized by only 6 CH filled orbital, and primary carbocation will be stabilized by only 3 CH filled orbital. Therefore, tertiary carbocation will be more stable than primary carbocation. So in benzyl group, if we have more substitution like electron donating group and electron withdrawing group, first we consider the electron donating group behavior. Once this Cl removed, the carbocation forms here. This carbocation will be stabilized by all these 6 pi electrons. So if you attach one electron donating group para position to this carbocation, this lone pair electron will be moved towards this carbocation, and which will stabilize much more than non-substituted benzyl carbocation. So electron donating group will stabilize much more this carbocation than our unsubstituted carbocation. So if we see that electron withdrawing group will withdraw the electron density of aromatic ring towards the substituted group, so which will not available for this carbocation stability. Here if we draw the resonance structure, positive charges comes this ipso position. So this positive position, already here positive carbocation will be there, so this carbocation will not be stabilized by this aromatic ring due to this resonance effect. Here SN1 mechanism is not favorable if we have that electron withdrawing group in aromatic ring. So if we have electron donating group, that will be more favorable than unsubstituted benzyl carbocation. If we have electron withdrawing substitution at a benzylic position, benzylic aromatic ring, which will destabilize carbocation, so it will not favorable for SN1 mechanism. In other words, for SN2 mechanism, we need steric free substrate and more delta positive. So if we see here, this carbon chlorine bond will have partial positive charge on this carbon, and again this electron withdrawing nature of this aromatic ring, here the positive delta positive will be increased to more delta positive. Therefore, as we needed more delta positive and less steric effect, which will favor for SN2 mechanism. So this electron withdrawing group is more favorable for SN2 mechanism in this way. So if we have in benzyl ring, benzyl aromatic ring, electron donating group, that will be favorable for SN1 mechanism. If we have electron withdrawing group in that aromatic ring, it will be favorable for SN2 mechanism. So you may know about which groups will donate electron density towards aromatic ring, and which group will withdraw electron density from aromatic ring. So for SN1 reaction, electron donating substitution will be more favorable than unsubstituted benzylic position, and for SN2 mechanism, electron withdrawing substitution will be more favorable than unsubstituted benzylic position. One more variety to stabilize the carbocation is neighboring heteroatom. If we have neighboring heteroatom with lone pair electron, it will stabilize that nearby carbocation by donating its lone pair electrons. Consider this molecule, it is a simple primary halide. So once that halogen atom removed, it will form primary carbocation. This formed primary carbocation will be stabilized by adjacent lone pair electron from heteroatom, which will form the temporary double bond. Then again this double bond will move towards the heteroatom to form its carbocations. So this kind of delocalization will stabilize the carbocations. So there are three methods to stabilize the carbocation. The first one is in simple alkyl halide, that hyperconjugation effect will stabilize the tertiary carbocation. In conjugation effect, allylic and benzylic position will be stabilized by its conjugated resonance effect. And third one is heteroatom stabilize the neighboring carbocation by its lone pair electrons. So this kind of stable carbocation will be favorable for SN1 mechanism. In SN2 mechanism, simply that steric free substrate will allow SN to attack, and in benzylic type, the electron withdrawing group will be more favorable for SN2 attacks. Now we will move carbocation rearrangements. So once carbocation formed, we need to look at is there any possibility for carbocation rearrangement, because in carbocation rearrangement is a quite common one. if you look at that reaction 1, it forms secondary carbocation on removal of hydronium ion in this molecule. The secondary carbocation have a chance to form more stable tertiary carbocation and migrating this methyl group from this carbon to this carbon. So it is here it is a secondary carbocation. Once the methyl group migrates from this carbon to this carbon, it becomes tertiary carbon like this. So as we know, tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary carbocation. So the incoming nucleophile will attack the tertiary carbocation instead of secondary carbocation. So our nucleophilic substituted product will be like this. So leaving group leaves at one carbon and nucleophile attacks in a different carbon. So this kind of rearranged product is very quite common in carbocation intermediate reactions. So in reaction 2, after removal of this bromine, it forms secondary carbocation here. Here we have two methyl group and one hydrogen atom in neighboring carbon. So if you migrate the methyl group from this carbon to this carbon, again it forms secondary carbocation. So secondary carbocation to secondary carbocation, no need for rearrangements because both will have same stability. So once it forms more stable carbocation, then only it needs a rearrangements. Now if you shift this hydrogen atom from this carbon to this carbon, now this carbon becomes tertiary carbocation. So here the hydrogen shifting produces a tertiary carbocation. Here alkyl group shifting produces tertiary carbocation. So whichever shift produces more stable carbocation, that kind of shift only will occur in that particular carbocation. Here that 1,2 hydride shift produces more stable carbocation. Here that methyl migration produces more stable carbocations. So during this carbocation rearrangement, we need to consider that strain ring presence in that carbocation, because the ring strain release is more important than carbocation stabilities. Here if we see this OTS removal produces tertiary carbocation here. After removing this tosylate, it produces more stable carbocation, but it attached with one strained ring, that is 4-membered ring. So here if that ring expands to 5-membered ring, then the ring strain released from 90 degree to that higher bond angle, so which will have less angle strain. So but after removal of this angle strain, it produces secondary carbocation. We know that carbocation stability, the tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary carbocation, but here the ring strain is released from this 4-membered ring to 5-membered ring. If we consider this stability of carbocation, the ring strain release, the ring strain release has more important than stability of carbocation. So though it is a tertiary carbocation, the ring strain is favorable for this kind of secondary carbocation rearrangement. So it is not needed always to convert secondary carbocation to tertiary carbocation. If we have that ring strain release effect, then we don't need to consider about the secondary carbocations, primary carbocation kind of carbocation stabilities. So these are the substrate effect. So whichever molecules produces more stable carbocation, it will undergo for SN1 mechanism, and whichever molecule will have steric free substrate, that will undergo for SN2 attack. In benzyl group, the electron donating group will favorable for SN1 mechanism, the electron withdrawing group will favor for SN2 attack. So the next one is a leaving group effect. So leaving as of now we have seen only alkyl halide. So in alkyl halide we will see that halide leaving group, which one is a better leaving group, or either fluoride is a better leaving group or iodide is a better leaving group. So for this we have a general concept, that is a weaker base is a better leaving group and stronger base is a better nucleophile. So in this alkyl halide we must know which is a strong base and which is a weak base. From that we can conclude that weak base is a better leaving group. So for that basicity we must know that corresponding acid. So if we know the acidity trend, that HI is a more strongest acid and HF is the most weakest acid. So based on the conjugative acid base system, that strongest acid will have weakest conjugate base and weakest acid will have strongest conjugate base. So in that HI is the strongest acid, so its conjugate base will be a weakest base. HF is the weakest acid and its conjugate base will be strongest base. So weakest base is I minus, so I minus is a better leaving group. So if you look at the rate of the reaction for different alkyl halide, alkyl iodide is a 30,000 times faster than alkyl fluoride. From this reaction we know that alkyl iodide, that is iodide, is a better leaving group than bromide. Bromide is a better leaving group than chloride. Chloride is a better leaving group than fluoride. So in this way alkyl iodide is the most reactive one and alkyl fluoride is the least reactive one. Next we look at the leaving ability of hydroxyl group. In alkyl iodide we expected that nucleophilic displacement happened. The same way if we expect a nucleophilic displacement in alcohol, it never happens because OH is not behaving as a leaving group. So what way we can convert this poor leaving hydroxyl group into a better leaving group? Means we have three options. The first option is converting this poor leaving hydroxyl group into better leaving hydronium ion by acidifying protonic acid. So if we add a concentrated protonic acid, it will convert this hydroxyl group into hydronium group. So once it becomes hydronium ion, it is a better leaving group. So this water molecule will be eliminated and it will form a carbocations. So after forming carbocation we have to consider the possibility of rearrangement. Then in nucleophilic attack we will give our desired substituted product. So this is the first way to convert the poor leaving hydroxyl group into better leaving hydronium ion to form a carbocation followed by nucleophilic attack. So the second option is converting this hydroxyl group into alkyl tosylate and alkyl mesylate, because this concentrated acid method is theoretically okay, but when we come to practical, the handling of concentrated acid is a little difficult. So if you have any alternate method, then we can proceed towards that alternate method. If we don't have any alternate method, then we can go for this concentrated acid method. So in the tosylate method, so here we have methane sulfonyl chloride. Simply we will call it as a mesetyl chloride. If we have OH here, it will be called as a methane sulfonic acid. Instead of OH we have chlorine here, so it is a methane sulfonyl chloride, simply mesetyl chloride. The same way we have here para-toluene sulfonyl chloride, simply tosyl chloride. So if we have OH here, it will be called as methane toluene sulfonic acid. Here we have chlorine, that is why it is called para-toluene sulfonyl chloride, simply tosyl chloride. So if we react this mesetyl chloride or tosyl chloride with the alcohol, it will form corresponding alkyl mesylate or alkyl tosylate. This alkyl tosylate is a better leaving group. How we define this alkyl tosylate as better leaving group means, in halide leaving group ability we have seen that alkyl iodide is 30,000 times faster than alkyl fluoride. So if we compare this alkyl iodide and alkyl tosylate, this alkyl tosylate is much more reactive than alkyl iodide. That is why alkyl iodide is considered as a better leaving group than alkyl iodide. So in this way we can convert this poor leaving hydroxyl group into better leaving tosylate. So this is the second option. So the third option is, if you want to replace this hydroxyl group into halide group, so we can use this PBr3 kind of reagents. So if you want to replace this OH with Br, we can use PBr3. So if you want to replace this OH with Cl, then we can use PCl3. If you want to replace this OH with iodine, then we can use Pi3. So this kind of halogenation can be done by this kind of phosphorus trihalide. So look at the mechanism. In the first step, this phosphorus trihalide behaves as an electrophilic center and the hydroxyl oxygen will behave as a nucleophile. So nucleophile attacks and bromine leaves here, in that oxygen phosphorus bond forms. The next step, that removed bromine attacks backside to that electrophilic carbon. Now the carbon becomes electrophilic center and bromine becomes a negatively charged nucleophile. Here that SN to backside attack happens, that bromine replaces oxygen, our desired alkyl halide produced. So in this way we can prepare alcohol to alkyl halide. This is the third way. From this method only we can prepare alkyl halide. So if we convert this alcohol into tosylate, we can substitute any kind of nucleophile in this carbon. So there are three methods to convert alcohol to better leaving group. The first one is concentrated acid method. The second one is tosylation. The third one is this PBr3 kind of reagents. Next we move on to nucleophilic effect. As I said, in leaving group ability, the weaker base is best. Weaker base is the best leaving group, and strong base is better nucleophile. So, if we see that a negatively charged anion is the best nucleophile, then its corresponding neutral one. OH minus is better nucleophile because it is a stronger base than its neutral water. The same way, N minus is a stronger base and better nucleophile than its neutral ammonia molecule. So in periodic table from left to right, both basicity and nucleophilicity parallelly decreases. Carbanion is better nucleophile and stronger base than N minus, and N minus is a stronger base and best nucleophile than O minus, and O minus is a stronger base and best nucleophile than F minus. So based on basicity from top to bottom, we are expecting this F minus must be better nucleophile than I minus, and I minus should be weak, poor nucleophile than F minus. But in actual, it follows the opposite trends. I minus behaves better nucleophile and F minus behaves poor nucleophile. And this trend follows in all other family also. In oxygen family, selenium behaves as a better nucleophile than sulfur. Sulfur behaves better nucleophile than oxygen. In nitrogen family, phosphorus behaves better nucleophile than nitrogen. It is due to solvent effect. So from top to bottom, basicity decreases and nucleophilicity increases. In gas-based nucleophilicity, both basicity and nucleophilicity both follows in same trend. But actually, SN reaction happens in solvent system. So due to solvation effect, that basicity and nucleophilicity follows opposite trend. Here, if you consider this kind of solvent system, the nucleophile will be surrounded by a solvent. That solvent partial positive portion will be closely surrounded by the negatively charged nucleophile. So small size fluoride ion will be closely, tightly will be surrounded by that solvent molecule, whereas that bigger size iodide will not be closely surrounded by this kind of solvent molecule. So that fluoride negative charge will be completely suppressed by the solvent molecule, whereas iodide minus charge will be exposed a little bit outside to attack the electrophilic center. The nucleophile has to go and attack the electrophilic center to form substituted product, then only we will call it as a better nucleophile. So based on this, iodine will behave as a better nucleophile than F minus due to this solvation effect. So if you don't have any solvent system like a gas in gas-phase atmosphere, that F minus will behave as a better nucleophile and I minus will behave as a poor nucleophile. But unfortunately, we do all SN reaction in solvent system. Therefore, small size anions will be surrounded tightly with solvent system, so that negative charge cannot be exposed to outside to attack the electrophilic center. That is why small size anions behaves poor nucleophile, bigger size anion behaves a better nucleophile. So in this way, iodine minus behaves as a better nucleophile and F minus behaves as a poor nucleophile. We have one more example also here. This tertiary butoxide is a strong base, but when it comes to nucleophilicity, it behaves as a weak nucleophile. The same way, ethoxide, simple ethoxide is a weaker base than tertiary butoxide, but nucleophilicity, if we consider it, it is a better nucleophile than tertiary butoxide. It is due to solvent effect. So if you don't have solvent effect, fluoride ion will be better nucleophile. If you have solvent system, then iodine will be better nucleophile. So that's it in this video. In next video, we will look at that solvent effect and SNI mechanism. Thank you. Keep watching. Bye.